lovely decor enthusiasts. Welcome back to our rustic countryside blue farmhouse series. If you loved part 1, you're in for a treat because today, we're diving into part 2, repurposed DIY ideas for a cozy home style you'll love. We'll transform everyday items into stunning farmhouse decor. Think vintage charm with a fresh spring twist. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you never miss our creative inspirations. Repurposing isn't just budget-friendly, it's a way to infuse soul into your home. Old wooden crates become shelves, mason jars turn into floral vases, and chipped paint tells a story. This season, embrace imperfections and let your creativity flow. Every piece you upcycle adds warmth and personality, making your farmhouse decor uniquely yours. Ready to transform forgotten treasures? Let's begin. Nothing says farmhouse charm like the blend of weathered wood and soft blue hues. This spring, layer distressed blue cabinets with raw wooden accents for a serene yet rustic vibe. Try painting an old dresser in duck egg blue and sanding the edges for a time-worn look. The contrast between natural wood and muted blues creates a cozy, inviting atmosphere that feels fresh yet timeless. Mason jars are farmhouse staples, but have you tried giving them a spring-ready makeover? Lightly paint jars in powder blue, distress them slightly, then fill with fresh daffodils or lavender. Tie twine around the necks for extra rustic flair. Group them as a centerpiece or line them along a windowsill. Either way, they'll bring instant countryside charm to your home. Got old crates lying around? Turn them into floating shelves. Sand them down, stain or whitewash for a weathered look, then mount them in a staggered arrangement. Use them to display blue ceramic pitchers, vintage books, or potted herbs. This DIY project adds storage and character to any kitchen or living room, blending practicality with farmhouse aesthetics. Old window frames are farmhouse gold. Clean them up, leave the chipped paint, and use them as picture frames or standalone wall art. Hang a cluster of them above a sofa or bed, or prop one up on a mantle with a wreath. The distressed wood and glass panes add depth and nostalgia, making them perfect for a rustic blue-themed gallery wall. No sewing machine? No problem. Grab a blue gingham fabric or any checkered pattern, cut to your table's length, and fray the edges slightly for a rustic touch. Drape it over your dining table or console for an instant spring farmhouse vibe. Pair with white dishes and wildflowers for a fresh, countryside tablescape that's effortlessly charming. A simple wooden plank can become a stunning farmhouse sign. Paint it in soft blue, then stencil or hand letter a cozy phrase like "Gather here" or "Fresh eggs and sunshine." Sand the edges lightly for a worn-in feel. Hang it in your entryway or kitchen. It's a heartfelt touch that welcomes guests with rustic warmth. Your front door sets the tone for your home. Give it a farmhouse refresh with a muted blue paint like Sherwin-Williams' Hazy Skies. Add a wreath of dried wheat or eucalyptus for texture. This small change makes a big impact, creating a cheerful yet cozy entrance that whispers countryside charm before anyone even steps inside. Terracotta pots are affordable, but a blue wash makes them farmhouse perfect. Mix acrylic paint with water, brush it on, then wipe off excess for a faded look. Plant herbs or pansies inside and group them on your porch or windowsill. The soft blue against the earthy clay is a match made in rustic decor heaven. An old dresser can become a farmhouse showstopper. Sand it down, paint the body in pale blue, and leave the drawers natural wood. Swap hardware for vintage knobs or wrought iron pulls. Use it in your bedroom, entryway, or even as a TV stand. It's functional, stylish, and full of rustic character. picture frames can tell new stories with a little creativity. Sand down thrifted frames, then paint them in soft blue and distress the edges for a time-worn look. Fill them with vintage botanical prints, family photos in sepia tones, or even pressed flowers. Group them on a gallery wall or place them on a mantle for a cozy, lived-in farmhouse feel that's full of charm. Drop cloths aren't just for painting, they make gorgeous, budget-friendly curtains. Cut to size, then use blue fabric paint to hand paint subtle stripes. Hang them with rustic wooden rods for an airy, textured look. The natural linen pairs perfectly with blue accents, softening sunlight while adding a relaxed countryside vibe to any room. Chicken wire isn't just for cooks, it's a farmhouse decor staple. Stretch a piece inside an old frame, then paint the frame in chippy blue. Use it in the kitchen to hang recipes, photos, or dried herbs. Or place it in an entryway to hold keys and mail. This simple DIY adds industrial charm while keeping things organized in style. Give your staircase a fresh spring update by painting just the risers in pale blue. Keep the treads natural wood for contrast. This small change makes a big impact, adding a touch of rustic elegance without overwhelming the space. Plus, it's an easy weekend project that instantly brightens your home's flow. Wooden cutting boards can double as farmhouse kitchen decor. Lightly brush them with watered-down blue paint, then sand for a weathered look. Hang them in a grouping above your stove or along an open shelf. Mix in some with natural wood tones for balance. It's a simple way to add cottage charm while keeping things functional. hard shell suitcase can become a quirky side table with just a few legs. Paint it in dusty blue, attach wooden or hairpin legs, and use it next to a chair or bed. Store blankets inside or leave it open to display books. Either way, it's a charming conversation piece that blends rustic and wanderlust vibes. Canvas drop cloths can transform into durable, wipeable floor cloths. Paint one in solid blue, then stencil a classic farmhouse motif, like stars or florals, in white. Place it in your entryway or kitchen for a warm, welcoming touch that's both practical and pretty. An old wooden shutter gets new life as a floating shelf. Paint it in chippy blue, then attach small shelves between the slats. Use it to display tiny potted plants, candles, or mini milk jug vases. The vertical design saves space while adding rustic texture to any wall. Plain wooden utensils become farmhouse art with a blue-dipped makeover. Paint just the handles in soft blue, then seal with food-safe wax. Hang them on hooks or arrange them in a crock for a sweet, subtle pop of color in your kitchen. If you have a dated brick fireplace, a washed blue paint treatment can soften its look. Use a muted blue and dry brush it on, leaving some brick exposed. The result? A dreamy, weathered focal point that feels straight out of a French countryside cottage. An old wooden door makes a stunning farmhouse headboard. Painted in peeling blue, then mounted behind your bed. Add string lights or a wreath above for extra coziness. It's a bold, romantic touch that anchors the room in rustic charm. Swap out plain knobs for hand-painted ceramic ones in soft blue. Or, paint existing knobs with chalk paint for a budget-friendly update. This tiny change gives cabinets, drawers, or even a dresser instant farmhouse personality. Wooden bead garlands are trending. Make yours farmhouse chic by staining some beads in watery blue. String them together with natural ones for a textured, boho rustic look. Drape them over a mirror, vase, or bedpost for effortless charm. stripes scream farmhouse. So simple pillow covers from blue and natural striped fabric, or stencil the pattern onto plain linen. Scatter them on sofas or beds for a lived-in, welcoming vibe that's perfect for spring. And there you have it, 25 inspiring DIY ideas to bring rustic blue farmhouse charm into your home this spring. Which project will you try first? Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you never miss our next decor adventure. Until then, happy crafting, may your home be as cozy as a countryside dream. Blue Heart.